family and friends. YouTube. It's been a while since I've actually went live. Right now, I just decided to go live. Can't sleep, and I've been getting a lot of people, talking to me about, why I don't go live anymore or why I haven't been, and that my story is important. And everyone has a story. Everyone has a journey, so I share my journey as much as I can. I've been really busy just trying to find some type of, I guess, as you say, just trying to be present, trying to be with my spirit, listening to it, and some of you guys know the challenges that I've been through and just like some of my background. And a lot of you guys don't know, and I try to share my journey as much as possible as far as anywhere from camping to learning to camp and just eating different, eating better because that's so important for the body. You have to treat your body, like as if it was a plant or if you're taking care of something that you're trying to treasure that's so important to you, and I look at that, and what you put in your body is how, you help your brain and your heart and the rest of your body develop the way it's supposed to be, and it's hard when there's so many types of food that they're putting out here. So it's hard to get around what you put in your body to know if it's good or bad or what's in it. And even in the things that you think is good, sometimes it's still not good. So it's like, it's always trying to find that, as they say, yin and yang, the balance. And balance is never easy, a never easier thing to do, you know. And finding balance in life when it comes to eating better, uh, traveling, just so you can see different things in life and what it brings to you and what's for you and what you want to be around. My journey has been very difficult for me, you know. If anybody's been watching my videos from the beginning, y'all know that I've been through, mental illness, I done been through so many things and I've been sharing that journey from day one with people just so they can get, a better understanding of what someone else is going through, and it's never easy, you know, even though I've got to a point where I'm traveling more, at least trying to, and just being in nature more and meditating a lot, it's still difficult. You're still gonna go through obstacles and changes in life, and but for me, it's a different kind. I'm more happier, and I'm being more patient with myself and being more kind to myself and being more understanding and just constantly, like I said, always listening to my spirit because if you talk to your body, it will talk back to you. Just got to be patient enough to listen to what it's saying. And right now, I'm in the process of continuing my journey with being spiritual and learning myself and understanding myself. And with that, I don't ever come on here to ever want anyone to feel sorry for me or any negative or why you doing this and why you doing that. I do what I do because that's my choice. You know, the lifestyle I live now and the choices I make now is because of my past. That's the purpose of us being on this earth is to learn from mistakes and learn from past or learn from trauma or learn from the things that No one's going to teach you. You have to learn on your own. And you learn that from being around people or being in situations and going through different experiences. And I'm not saying that anything bad you go through is a good thing. It's never a good thing. But I think it teaches us. You learn a lot about yourself and who you are, not what the world expects of you or what people expect of you, because they're people just like us. But this world does not really exist. We're just here in it. But those are the type of things I talk about on my channel. No, I don't come on here as much as I should, but it's because right now in my process of what I'm going through, yeah, I have been homeless, and homeless is not always a bad thing. You know, is a choice that I choose to be out in nature and live the way I live, because I don't want to put pressure on other people, and I don't want the pressure on myself. So if I'm by myself, I don't have to worry about those things, and I try to be around like minded people such as myself, that's teaching me something or helping me or not just using me for the wrong reasons. You know, I love myself. I love myself enough to do whatever it takes to get myself together. And if that means coming on here from time to time to help someone else understand that it's never going to be easy, but you have to choose your own life, your own of what you want it to look like. Therapy is good for most people, but I also learned that the natural therapy that's there without having to spend on a dime is free too. You just have to go out there and understand it and just be a part of it. That meant me going out there and being in nature, being camping, being amongst the river, the lakes, the waterfalls, seeing the beauty and something different that which you're not used to doing every day or seeing every day. So right now I'm not in a vehicle anymore. I had to get rid of my vehicle, and most people know that that vehicle has been a part of my journey. I've been staying in it, I've been living in it, I've been traveling in it, and now that it's gone, I had to find other resources of getting around, and if that meant the bus. And most people are looking at me like, I can't believe you're on the bus now. What happened to your car? What happened to your vehicle? I would never thought, you never thought what, and that is the mind frame that people are in sometimes, and I try to stay away from that. I've never been that person that always thought that things couldn't happen to me or that I couldn't be the next person, and even though my situation is not good, I always remind myself someone else is worse than mine, so I'm always being grateful for every little bit I get, every little thing that God gives me, and everything is a little blessing, and I never turn my nose or treat anyone any different. And I've always been that way no matter what I have, and it's not about what you have, it's about how you go about doing things the right way and helping people. Yeah, I'm amongst homeless people now. I live in the streets from time to time. I go to shelters. I'm the rest of my hair wherever, until I can get back on my feet. But I'm also making sure I remind myself that, it's just a period of time. It's just a moment. It doesn't last forever. It's not going to last forever. You know, this world is set up, for failure, but it's also set up to help you, teach you who you are. So yes, if I haven't been on here in a while, I'm going to try to be on here more because people have been asking me, and it's been a motivation and inspiration for a lot of people, And I never looked at it like that. I know it can happen because I see it all the time, but I just never thought that my journey and sharing it all the time will help someone else. Because right now I'm in the process of going through all these things, so I'm not thinking about sharing or wanting anyone to feel sorry for me or any of those things, But right now, I'm resting my head in a spot, you know, and whatever little bit of sleep I could get, I try to get it. I appreciate whatever sleep I could possibly get, you know, and I couldn't sleep, so I just wanted to come on here, because earlier today people was just like, "Oh, you should share your story. You should share your story," You know, I will get on here more. You know, right now, like I said, I'm in between shelters. In between homes. I'm in between staying here and there. My situation, my lifestyle is crazy. Most people know that I am married. I've been married. Situation, things happen, people's journeys, whatever. I've been on a spiritual journey for 3 years and a half now. No, it has not been easy for me, but I also don't want to complain about anything because I appreciate whatever I'm given, and I know at the end of the day, it's going to be better for me. Right now, my goal is to get a van, to reconvert it, to travel with my youngest daughter, and I have not let that stop me just because I'm not in a vehicle. I'm driving on a bus, I'm using people's car, I'm renting, any income I can get, I'm taking advantage of it. So I'm just here to let you know that anything is possible. Nothing has to be difficult and hard. There are always going to be obstacles, no matter what spiritual journey you're on, no matter where you're at in life. There's always going to be something difficult for somebody. I just think that sharing stories will help other people, and that is my goal. So I will try to come on here more just to be helpful to someone else's ear. So I will see you guys later. I hope you have a blessed day and enjoy and take advantage of the opportunities or whatever someone is giving you, because you never know when you're going to get them. You appreciate the people around you, if it's positive, you know. And yeah, have a good day. Hopefully I can show you some of my journey later. Hopefully people can share this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and watch a lot of my um other videos that I've posted in the past of my journey, of my past and my beginning, and where I'm going, and I am on Instagram every now and then, on Facebook. I usually don't be on social media. I've got away from a lot of things, social media and a lot of those things, because they're not helpful to you, unless you're watching something positive and it's real and that person is genuine what they're saying and doing, whether it be eating to camping to hiking to whatever. Some people just do things because it's a trend, and some people just do things just because someone else is doing it. But if it doesn't make you happy and it doesn't align with who you are, and it's not helping you grow and realize who you are and not for somebody else or what the world expects for us to be. If you don't step off your comfort zone and you become programmed to what they want you to be, it becomes a habit of you continue to do the same things you do every day and don't change it up and do things differently. How would you know if you could do something else differently? Or how would you know how something else makes you feel? Or how can you see anything else if you're continue to keep living the same way every single day? That's how we become programmed. And that's something that I never wanted for myself or my child or my children or whatever. Who I am is who I've always been, but sometimes in life you go through obstacles, you go through those trying to find a balance between right and wrong and all these other things, and it's taught me to learn from them, to that it's there for a reason. You just have to have a choice and pick and choose which side you want to be on. This reminds you of the Matrix. Do you want the green pill or the blue pill? And it's kind of like that in a way, and that's kind of how I base my life around. I try to live my life the way I choose to, not someone else's. I try to be happy. I try to be kind to myself. I try to remind myself, there's going to be better days. The day is this day. Tomorrow will be something different. The moment is this moment. Later on, it'll be something different, but you have to make a decision on choosing. But at that moment, when you're meditating, like I do, I try to meditate all the time. When I wake up in the morning, that is the first thing I do. I try not to give myself to anything else or do anything else, because it's very important to sit with yourself. You sit with your spirit, and sit with it long enough that you hear it, not just you putting something there that doesn't really tell you what you need to do or how your day need to look like. You're just not really listening. But if you actually sit and meditate and actually listen to yourself, you'll hear exactly what you need to hear about who you are, what you need to do, what it's supposed to look like. You'll hear all those things. I hike to be in nature so I can hear natural sounds, natural water, natural the trees moving, the bird sounds. I listen to all those. All those things are therapy for people. People understand you don't have to spend a lot of money for therapy. Everything that the universe wants us to have is right there in our presence. Foods we eat, plants we grow, all these things. But that's a whole nother topic and another subject. But again, thank you guys for coming in here. And as I said before in my last videos, if you ever feel like you want to come on here and just do like a collab or just talk or do like where we're sitting in the podcast, I do all of those things. You just hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. Everything is linked in my bio. But I'm grateful for the people that are in my life. So, like as I tell people all the time, if you don't have nothing to say, don't come on here. You don't have to come on here. No one is making you come on here. And I just never understand why negative people, miserable people come on here to just like get a life. You don't have to come on here. No one is making you come on here. You see something, you don't like it, you just leave. You don't have to leave anything negative, any of that. So I'm going to go because if you up early and you don't know what else to do with your time, that's your problem, not mine. So enjoy your day for the positive people.